Hello, my name is Ceciel Rooker, and I'm the President and Executive Director for the International Foundation for Gastrointestinal Disorders, or IFFGD. Today, have put together a small presentation on how to contact your legislative office in Washington, D.C. In 2025, there was an update on how you contact your legislative offices. There's no longer an email option with a direct email address. Today, I'm going to walk you through the steps on how to find your legislator and then all the different ways that you can contact them. We'll end this presentation with just a few tips on how to handle your meeting or your contact with your legislative office so that you can make the most of your contact. As you may know, our legislative branch of the United States of America has two branches. We have the Senate, and each of us have two senators because there are two senators per state, and those senators represent the entire state. In the House of Representatives, however, there are several of them per state, depending on size, and each of us will have one person that represents us in the House of Representatives. We're going to start there today. So if you want to find your representative in the House, you'll go to www.house.gov. This will take you to the screen that you see below, and in the upper right-hand corner, you will enter your zip code. This will allow you to be able to find the legislator or legislators that represent people in your particular zip code. Once you select Look Up, the mere member of the House of Representatives will show. For the IFFGD offices here in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, it's Nancy Mace. As you can see, there's her picture, and beneath her picture, we have her name and then buttons for contacting her. And then on the right-hand side, there is a map of her district. If you have more than one representative in your zip code, in order to find the one that actually represents you, you will need to enter your physical mailing address where you live, your registered voter address, and it'll be on a page that comes up like this. For zip code 29464, we have two different possibilities. One is Nancy Mace or James Clyburn. And once you enter your address, it will take you back to the page that I showed you previously for that representative. Now, I suggest that you select the name of your congressional office, and it will take you to their main homepage. And this is the website dedicated simply to your congressperson. And for Nancy Mace, this is what her page looks like. I encourage you to take some time to learn about your congressperson, learn what their interests are, what their issues that they're following closely, and what things matter to them. This will give you a better idea of how you can converse with them about the topics that are important to you. Maybe she's not up on the issues that you are concerned about, and you can educate her. Or if she is a supporter of the same causes that you do, you can thank her and reassure her that you, as a constituent, are concerned about those issues as well. Every one of the pages for the House of Representatives on the right-hand side will have the contact button, which will take you to their contact page. Now, this is going to look different than it did before. Before, you would have a place where you can select to email your congressional representative, but now you cannot. You're going to get a contact form similar to what you see on this page. It'll have you enter your name and your address, and then you'll be able to share your story and talk about the things that are important to you by writing just as you would in an email using the same templates that we shared with you before. Now, each one of the Congress people have different contact pages. They're going to look different. They may ask different questions, but all of them will allow you a place where you can really express your feelings to them. Most of them will also have an option for you to select for them to contact you back personally. Make sure you select that button so that you can continue the conversation with them. On this page, you'll notice that there are other ways that you will be able to contact them. And so all of those options will also be listed on their page. Again, it varies by representative, so things might be different. However, they should all have an office location button or office locations at the bottom of the page. For Congresswoman Mace, she has this black box, and as you see on the right-hand side of the page, and in there, she has the different things that you can do. Now, Concerning their actual offices, your congressional representative will have an office in Washington, D.C., but they will also have local offices within the district, which means you can actually go in person within your district and meet with someone from their office. Some representatives will have a scheduling page. So it's a contact form where you can actually set the date and time of your meeting right there online and let them know a little bit about why you want to meet with them. But if you don't want to meet with them in person, you can always call them. And with all the different locations on the page, they will have the location of the office, the address for the office, and then the phone number. So you can call them, or if you want to go old school, you can get out a piece of paper and write them a letter. So what about the senators? Senators are pretty much the same, but to find your senator, your two senators for your state, you'll go to www.senate.gov. Now, on this page, you're going to go to the left-hand side at the top, and it's just going to be a drop-down, and you'll select your state. For IFFGD home office, that would be South Carolina. Now, when I select my two senators show. They are Senator Lindsey Graham and Senator Tim Scott. This is a little bit different. Here, their name is above their headshot in blue, and then below is contact. Again, if you select their name, it will take you directly to their homepage of their website. And you select the contact, you will get straight to the contact page. Just like with your House of Representative, I suggest that you do take a look around their website and learn a little about your senators. Once you do, you will have you go to the contact page. Now, again, just like with the House of Representatives, each senator has a little bit of leeway in how this is set up. For Senator Tim Scott, which is one of the senators of South Carolina, this is his contact page. And as you can see, there's a lot of information here. Up at the top are ways that you can contact him for different reasons. And those are listed at the top, and then there's buttons for them as well. And at the bottom, he has his office locations. As you can see, he has 4. So all that small print at the top, I put it here in a little bit larger font for you. And there are 3 different buckets for why you would contact your senator. The first one is the one that we are interested in advocacy. And that is if you have comments on legislation, which includes appropriations or how the United States budget is formed. So if you're looking to advocate for medical research funding for the NIH, the DoD, or the VA, you would use this form. If you were talking about a specific piece of legislation, like the Step Therapy Act, copay accumulators, or any other piece of legislation that's important to you, this is where you would go. Now, people don't realize that their senators also can help them with dealing with other federal agencies. So if you are looking for help with Medicare, Social Security, or veterans benefits, any of those things, you can use the button to help with a federal agency and contact them about what your needs are. And then lastly, it's schedule a meeting or visiting Washington. So those are 2 different things. One, you can schedule a meeting, just like I talked about with the House of Representatives, and that will be a scheduling template where you can actually schedule a in-person meeting. But notice also that they ask if you're visiting DC that you can click there and they can schedule a tour for you of the Capitol. Now, I urge you to do this if you're visiting Washington, DC, because the staffers for your senators who work for you can take you on a special tour. And there are places in that tour that you can't get if you just walk in on your own. So if it's something that you're interested in, I encourage you to do that. So, first of all, the button says email me. It's important to note that you're actually not writing an email per se, but you're filling out this contact form. This is the contact form for Senator Scott. And as you go down the page, which I didn't show here, there will be a space for you to share your story, talk about the issues that are important to you, and tell them a little about yourself. And ask the senator what exactly you want them to do. You want them to support a bill, you want them to support medical research funding, whatever that is, you can place those in the comment section here. And again, at the bottom of the form, you have an option to select a button that says, would you like a return contact? And you should always say yes so that you can continue the conversation. But let's talk a little bit more about that conversation. And if you're unsure of what you're going to say, well, here's just an outline. It's just a sample. You can do whatever it is that you please, and there are different options out there. But first of all, you should always introduce yourself. Let them know that you're an advocate with IFFGD and you're advocating on behalf of the gastrointestinal illness community. And then, most importantly, share your personal story. Make sure that they know a little bit about you, why you're contacting them. What is it in your life that you see that where you need to see change? And you would ask Congress to do that. And then you would go ahead and talk about those legislative priorities that are relevant to you. And there are a lot of priorities out there, such as different pieces of legislation, medical research funding, funding for the CDC and educational programmings that are led by them, and other issues. Make sure that you address those priorities and circle that back to your story and why it's important to you. When you are finished, you will answer any of their questions. And then at the end, ask for their email address. Now, you can do this in the contact form if you're doing that, or if you're actually calling them or writing them a letter, you can do that as well. But ask for a personal email address because you'll want to follow up with them after the call. And then ask, if there's any more information that they would like to have. IFFGD has issue briefs on most important issues facing the gastrointestinal community. And if you find out what those questions are and email us, then we can help you in getting that information to the staffer. Our email address for advocacy issues is advocacy@iffgd.org. And lastly, and most importantly, make sure that you thank them for their time. The staffers are extremely busy in Washington, and they've taken time out of their day to speak to you, a constituent. Make sure that you express your thanks for that and ask them to tell the boss about your concerns. But after you make that contact, whether it's a phone call or an email or filling out, or a phone call, writing a letter, or filling out the contact form, make sure that you email us at IFFGD, advocacy@iffgd.org. Let us know who you talked to and what you discussed and how your call went. And also, if you have received any contact from their office after filling out that form or sending that letter through the mail or making the phone call. If you called them, make sure that you take that email address that they gave you and email them back and say, hey, I appreciate talking to you today. And just to reiterate, this is my name, a short synopsis of your story, and then the issues that are important to you. Make sure that you follow up after them so that you make sure that your voice is definitely being heard. So just as some guide rails, when you're having these conversations, whether it be in writing or in person or on the phone, make sure that you do focus on legislative priorities that you understand and are relevant to you. So you are the expert. You know what's important to you. Make sure that you talk about those things. Make sure that you share your personal story concisely, but not too short. Make sure that you're really informing them on the things that are really bothering you. Make sure that you remain calm, positive, and do not share or discuss anything with them that you're not comfortable with. Make sure that this call is all about you and that you're doing things and saying things that are important to you, but not anything that you don't really want to talk about because talking about your story is hard. We understand that. So just do it in a way that is easy for you. By doing so, you'll be able to make your voice heard in Washington. But most of all, we want you to enjoy it. We want you to know that you're making change and that you're adding your voice to many voices. The squeaky wheel gets the grease, they say. Now, when you are doing these contacts, make sure that you don't get stressed over the material, that you don't try to feel like you need to be an expert on all of that legislation or anything else. Just make sure that you know what it is that you support. And then if they have questions, they can ask, and then we can help you with answering those questions. As I mentioned before, do not try to gloss over your patient experience. Your experience matters. And so make sure that you tell your story and that you do it thoroughly in a way that you're comfortable. Please do not allow yourself to become heated or negative towards a staffer. This should be a positive experience. And if things do make you start to feel uncomfortable, you can end the call or end the visit at any time. Also, and most importantly, again, I have to reiterate, do not share any very personal information to you that you don't want to share. That is not necessary for this contact. Make sure that you're only sharing the things that you want to. I hope that this has been educational for you and that this will help you and guide you in being able to share your story and make contact with your legislative offices in Washington, D.C. Remember, three most important points. Do what you're comfortable with. Don't do anything that's going to make you uncomfortable or feel negative or bad in any way. Make sure that you tell your story because your story is important. And this whole contact is about you and making sure that they're hearing your voice. And I can't reiterate enough. Please contact us at advocacy at iffgd.org with any of your questions, comments, and just to tell us how it went. We want to know. So please join us in contacting the congressional offices about matters that are of concern to the gastrointestinal illness community. Please be active, be heard, make a difference.